part of the video is just gonna be a whole bunch of nigga shit. I'm telling you, I was looking at my notes like, boy, we've been cutting up this week, child. First story up, you guys, Draya. So Draya confirms her pregnancy. She does not confirm who the father is. However, many assume that it is her current boyfriend, who is the 22-year-old Houston Rockets player, Jalen Green. Okay. If you don't know, Draya is 39 years old. The young man is 22 years old and promises to have a good future in the NBA, which means a lot of money for him. And now he has a child on the way with this woman that's almost twice his age. Listen, I've told you guys plenty of times before that I don't, like, when I dated back in the day, I've always dated around my age. I never dated younger. And if anything, I liked an older guy. But, of course, nothing to the point where I felt like I was going to be dating somebody that was the same age as my daddy. I couldn't even imagine bringing home a man to meet my dad and both of them graduated the same fucking year. Okay. I know my mom and my dad would have had a fucking fit. And so I can only go from how I feel about it. I have a 24-year-old son and a 22-year-old daughter. If my daughter brought home somebody that was my age, I'd have a fucking problem. And if my son brought home a woman that was my age, I would have a fucking problem. Because to me, I don't know what you find, how you even have anything in common with a person that is the same age as your child. I just don't understand that. Even when and Joe is very, very mature. But even still, when I sit and talk to Joe, sometimes I obviously know that there is still some growing up that needs to do. There is some maturing that needs to happen. And I can't imagine, I'm older than Draya. Okay, so let me just say, but I'm using it as Draya's example because Draya's son is the same age as this one that she's having a kid with. So if I was Jalen Green's mom, and he brought home Draya, yes, I would be like, I would have a problem. I would have so much to say. At the end of the day, he grown, he gonna do what he wanna do. But I know that mother is sick. Not on top of the fact that boy like I said, he's got a future in the NBA. He's going to make a lot of money. And now he has signed on to a new bill. I know that's very harsh to say, but that is what it is. He going to have to pay child support unless he's deciding to marry this woman. And if the woman is, if he's 22 years old, he ain't ready to fucking get married. Okay. So it's just sort of like, oh God. And honestly, I thought that Draya, I just didn't think that she was still on this type of time. Okay. Now at one time we know that Draya was out there for self, but Draya told us herself that you can erase your wholeness. You can get to a point in your life where you're doing things the right way and all that shit that's happened in the past is just in the past. And I actually believe that. I don't know about erasing your wholeness, but what I'm saying is, many times you can change for the better. A lot of us did some old reckless shit when we was younger, but as you get older, you know better, you do better. And that's kind of what I thought that Draya was doing. Because she's been pretty quiet. Draya hasn't really been out there much. We've seen her doing her little modeling, not little, but her modeling for Fashion Nova, which I'm sure they pay her good money. We've seen her, she has her bathing suit company. I believe she still has that. And, I just figured that Draya was living her life and doing things. But then to see this, I was just like, damn, is it really the same old Draya? The one that was leaving her son on the back porch with the food and the water while she went out, stripping and doing whatever she was doing. I don't know if she was stripping, but, out running the streets. Remember back in the day when they were saying that she was leaving her son at home? Is this that Draya? Is this the Draya that now has gotten to the point where her son is no longer getting child support and now she's got to figure out how she can live for the next 18 years? Like, is this what Draya is doing? Or is this something where she did fall in love, unfortunately, with a 22-year-old? I guess it could happen, you guys. But I'm just like, oh God. So from the outside looking in, it looks like this woman now has assured herself that she will be having money coming in for the next 18 years, and she'll worry about it again when she's about 56, 57. Okay, can't have no kids back then. So what at 56, 57, most likely. So then all I can say is I hope she gonna stack her money while she is in these 18 years, and make sure she got a retirement plan, because this kind of thing ain't gonna work no more, okay, at 56 and 57. But, yeah, I know people say men do it, and it ain't right when men do. I know that people say that men do it and women do it. It is what it is. Men have been doing it for years. Not saying that it's right or wrong, but it is what happens now. It happens. Men have dated young for many, 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 many years. It's different for women. It is different for women. And especially when you have, it's different also when you have a man who has money, who marries or gets with a young girl who don't have nothing. This is reverse. This is a woman who doesn't have nothing. I'm not saying that Drea's broke or anything, but she ain't got Jalen Green money. So now you got a woman that looks like she's preying on a child. Okay? I don't know any better way to say it. It looks very predatory. But again, he's grown. Like, we got to figure out what we want to decide is grown or not. Sometimes we'll say, oh, they a child. You shouldn't talk about the child. You shouldn't do this about the child. They're still got some growing up to do. But then other times we'll be like, well, he grown. He's 21 years old. They can make their decisions. It's like, which one is it going to be? Okay. But yeah, I just was like, damn, Draya. Is this really, and then she going to come post, after everybody was talking about it so much, after she's posted pictures of her with her flat stomach and all, and she knew that she was going to have to give up you was going to have to give it up at some point, because your stomach ain't getting no smaller, so then everybody was like, yeah, them pictures is old, girl. Where's the real pictures from today? So now she finally posted a picture of herself in a bathing suit, and she's talking about getting comfortable with being misunderstood. What have we misunderstood? You don't owe that conversation to us. Okay, that's between your conscience and your God and your son. Your son. How does the son feel about this? The fact that his mom is going to be with somebody at his age. That's his age. I know that Joe would have a problem with me dating any of his friends. And it just sounds weird just coming, not that this boy was his friend, but just anybody of his age. Joe would look at me like, Mom, are you crazy? What do you, yeah. So I can't even imagine how anybody could feel in this situation. But I know that mama's sick. I know that mama gots to be sick because she didn't prepare her child correctly. And we've seen this happen to many sports players over the years, not just NBA, but just many sports players all around that will be taken advantage of because they're young and dumb, from a woman that just knows way more. And I don't know. I don't. But Draya seems to be trying to it is what it is. The baby here is coming. She gonna have to deal with it. So I'm sure she's just like, I'm just gonna have to deal with this storm and let everybody get it out their system so everybody can move on. But I would always have a side eye for Draya if I was just, man, really, girl, are you really doing this? But even though they haven't confirmed that it's him, he has a recent picture of him. He's with a girl. I don't know who the girl is, but he doesn't have a shirt on. He has a tattoo. He has tattoos all over him. But right down here at the bottom of his stomach, bottom of his, like in the abdomen area, he actually has Draya tattooed on there. I said, ooh, like I said, you social media sleuths, honey. How'd y'all got that close to that fucking picture to be able to see that damn Draya to begin with? Because, he's not light skinned. He's not really dark, but he's not light. But he has black tattoos, and it's a whole bunch of them. And, they start to muddle together and stuff. But, honey, somebody was able to spot that shit say Draya. And so, yeah, I think it's widely assumed that he is the father of the baby and all. And I'm just like, girl, I guess if that's what you're doing, if she like it, I love it. But that's it. We're gonna get on to the next story. I'm really bothered by my orange face, and I'm really, this makeup actually matches my face, but I guess it's supposed to match my chest. It's just glowing. It look white in the camera. But anyway, you guys, let me get on to the next message. I'm sorry, next story. About to check this message. All right, you guys, I'm not going to talk about this long, but you know, everybody wants me to update you on the Simon and Porsha mess. And look, I don't know no more than you guys know. I can't tell. It's starting to really look like, though, that it was not a stunt, okay? Because Simon is out there wilding and making Porsha look so dumb. And, you know, Portia's threatening to, you know, tell her truths. And I was like, girl, at this point, tell the fucking truths, okay? Because I forgave Porsha, but y'all know that I don't feel sorry for Porsha because the way that she put that shit together, I mean, when you do what Nene say, okay, it don't never work out for you when you play dirty. And the way that whole thing formed, it wasn't set on the right foundation to begin with, okay? So now I hate it for her that she's going to have to go through this, but she is going to go through it because that nigga there, he look like he don't give a fuck. He out there living his life. He's spending the money. Now I'm thinking, like, who paid for all of that shit when they was having all this opulent wedding and everything? Did Porsha pay for that? Okay. You know, they got rumors going around that saying Porsha was spending all this money on him and trying to do all this. And I guess when things were starting to get rocky, she was trying to buy his love back and all of that. And it didn't work. And I was just like, oh, Porsha, did you fall for the okie doke? Like, did you fall for the okie doke? You know, I don't never know what to say of it anymore. I'm not sure if Porsha is this business mind, you know, but what I do think is that Porsha thought that what glittered was gold. Okay, and that shit was not real. It was not even it wasn't even the Vermeil gold. Like, it was some shit that was created and was gonna turn green real soon. Okay, and that's exactly what happened. And now she's out there with egg on her face. Like, to me, this is really embarrassing. Like, girl, what you thought? Like, but you also have to say, like, you knew that the shit was out there. Everybody was talking about Simon, but oh, honey, you just wanted to be the one that was on this pedestal, and he held it up for, I guess, as long as he could, you know. But any nigga that's, like, you know, going through this divorce and it's all these money issues and all that, like, he obviously didn't have it in his mind to try to get his wife back or try to work his family out. Instead, this nigga out here trying to buy Bentleys or buying Bentleys, and now hooked up with this new girl, the J Body or whatever. I didn't put her name in my notes, but you know, now we're seeing him with her, and it's just sort of like, girl, I know you ain't gonna expect us to feel sorry for you if he does it to you as well. Like, I hope you just looking at this as a trick, okay? It looked like it was classic tricking though, because if you saw y'all saw they was on a boat, and it was Jeezy. I was like, young Jeezy, not what the studio was named after, and you out there running around with the likes of a Simon Guabodia and this girl. Like, I mean, I don't know nothing about the girl. The girl might be okay. But you can't be smart if you trying to run around with Simon and all that. That's why I'm saying it just looked like it's tricking. But, you know, he's so intent on showing everybody that he still has money and he's, living the life of luxury and all of that. You know, every time I see a picture of him with that fucking cigar, I just be like, ugh, you know. But yeah, I can't even really say I feel sorry for Porsha. I just can't. And now he's going to embarrass her. And I feel like kind of the only reason why she hasn't really blasted him is because he still got shit on her too, you know? So it's just like she gotta play this right. And she has to save it. She probably needs to save a lot of it for the show as well. I realize that as well. But child, I'm just like, and you guys, I'm telling you, I already told you guys I was going to do Housewives of Atlanta. But I'm like so over reality. Like, I can't wait for Love and Marriage to DC to be over because I'm dropping it. I'm dropping it. I know that for a fact. They've got drama going on there. And you guys know I've always been the type to just review the show. I don't get involved in shit that's happening offline, you know, in real life, you know, when they get to going back and forth and then everybody be trying to dig up dirt on people and all that. Like, I don't get involved in that. So that's what's about to start happening over at DC, which is too bad, you know, but I don't even know if it's going to work because they don't have as big of an audience as Huntsville does. But you can see it's starting to head down that kind of road. And I don't want to be a part of none of that kind of stuff no more. I want to do something that's going to make me laugh or have fun or feel relaxed. And so I can't be anxious and nervous and shit about what's going on in other people's lives when I got my own shit going on, you know. So I am so over reality shows. I'm dedicated to keeping, Power. That is my only scripted show that I do now. And side note, did you guys see that they are now about to release the they're about to start working on making the prequel to Power, the original Power with Omari Hardwick and Tommy. You know what I'm talking about, Ghost and Tommy. They're now going to do the prequel, which is what I thought they originally were going to do once the original Power was done, but instead they carried it on and let Tariq take over. But I thought they were going to do the prequel, because you remember at the end of the finale, they showed when Tommy and Ghost ended up meeting each other when they were young. And, Naturi's character, I can't even say, Tasha. We saw that, remember? But they never expounded on that. But they kind of showed us that they had all these ideas for these new different chapters, and that's how we got Tommy, and that's how we got Raising Kanan, and that's how we got Tariq's Ghost. But yeah, I'm gonna keep those shows, but I'm changing it. And so we had those shows. Now they're saying they're going to bring this prequel, and it kind of feels like it's out of order. Like, it feels like they should have did the prequel right after they did the first Power. Now it sort of feels like, do we really need it? I mean, I'm here for it, but do we really need it? Out of all these other chapters and books that they have, do we really need the prequel now? Now I'm going to watch, and we're going to see how it goes. I mean, I think it has the potential to do very well, but then, I just don't know. So I don't know if we need it, is what I'm saying. But I'll be here for it, and we'll see what y'all think, though. Are y'all looking forward to seeing that? Anyway, I'm getting off. As far as the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm sure that they are recording right now, and Portia's probably saving a lot of it for the show. But yeah, I'm just like, oh God. But yeah, I'm gonna sit and watch, honey. Somebody gonna give her the blues. They saying that Kenya ain't gonna be the one to do it, but somebody is not going to let what happened to Porsha slide. And if I was being real with you, sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. But y'all let me know what you think. I mean, do you guys still think that this was a scheme that Todd set up, or do you really think that Porsha really thought that she had met her, her happily ever after, her Prince Charming? I mean, after they was starting to beat us up with, all of the happy videos and pictures and everything, I was like, okay, maybe it did finally work out for him and all, because all of them was fucked up in it, including Fallon and, what she was doing over there too. So I was just like, well, shit, if everybody fine with it, fine. But now I'm just like, yeah, that was a mess over there. And it's probably a whole lot of stuff that Porsha can say. But like I said, Simon probably could say a lot too. And he tried to say something like, you guys need to check on her mental well-being or state of health, mental state of health, or whatever he said, trying to make it sound like the girl is crazy. But she did threaten. But yeah, I'm just like, Porsha, go on and spill it this time, because honey, he got you out here looking crazy. But he looked crazy too. They all just, child. Anyway, next story. All right, you guys, now I'm just going to say this. Listen, Miss Netta and Charles, when they first came out, I didn't really know what it was. I didn't know if that was just a thing for the internet, and that they was just putting it out there and people just picked up and it just became an act, or if it was a real relationship. Well, turns out it was supposedly a real relationship. These two done got married and everything, okay? And you guys can just see it happening. If you've been watching social media for any length of time and watching when these people show up, remember the one, I don't even remember nobody's names. I probably should have, but remember the one young little chunky boy, little short afro. He used to be in all of the he used to be, the rappers would take him up and all of that, and they would be making him look stupid. They would be joking on him and talking about him and everything, and he was always the brunt of the joke. And then you got this one guy, I think he lives out here in Atlanta, the one who has the, he has some sort of health condition where his body is like kind of misformed and his legs are long and he's got a real short torso and all. Those are the same kind of people, when I look at Charles and Miss Netta, that social media will latch onto them and they will get everything out of them. Now, of course, they will also give them some things, just to make them happy, for them to continue on. But they'll get everything out of them. They'll chew them up and they'll spit them out, and we won't hear from them again. And I feel like this is going to be the same thing that happens with Miss Netta and Charles. Now, this latest shit that they done went and some plastic surgery place. What's the name of the damn plastic surgery? Goals Plastic Surgery. Okay. When you look at they got an Instagram page. When you look at it, don't look professional. I can't tell you if it was board certified or whatever. But they went to this. There could not be any credible doctor that would have did the surgery that they did on Charles in the shape that Charles is. Charles is not a small man. Okay. Charles has a very big belly. They have decided to construct abs on top. Six-pack abs. You can see the formation of them on his stomach. All right. But even though he has that six-pack ab on his stomach, what about the case of beer that's sitting on top of? Like, his stomach is still very big. They did that surgery and then had the nerve to have him all oiled up. And then here go Miss Netta. I was just like, oh my God. Like, why is it that a doctor was even able to do that? I believe that she got a Brazilian butt lift or something like that. And I'm just like, what? If these two really were a genuine couple, I don't even know if I imagine that they will be together, because some woman is going to get somebody just walked by looking at me like, what are you doing? Some woman is going to get they hooks. They going to hang on to him. And they you can just see how all of these things is going to happen. And it's unfortunate. I hate to see it happen to people, because I feel like they probably started off as if they really are a true couple, maybe they just loved each other and all of that. But now it's just, I feel like everybody is laughing at them and not with them anymore. So I don't, I just mark my words, it's going to eventually crash down in flames like all the rest of these people that, gets popular from a viral video or something like that. It's going to crash down in flames and we ain't going to see them. Them people going to be gone, and, it's inevitable. But yeah, that damn picture, not the picture, but yeah, that picture of him, with his stomach and all, I just was like, Cha. You hate to see it, but I hope they can get all that they can out of it while the going is good. Okay, much like I was talking about, girl, like, yeah, I hope you stacking your money, which they probably aren't, but I'm hoping that you trying to at least look to the future and know that this shit ain't gonna last forever. Y'all not really celebrities like that, so it might not last forever. Start making sure you trying to save your money and everything, because when they done with you, they done with you. If I seen it once, I seen it 1,000 times, y'all. Anyway, next story. Guys that works at the building just walked by. He's walked by my car a couple of times. He sees me talking and he's just looking like, what is she doing? I got the car running because I have the air on, because nigga not trying to melt today. Okay, but yeah, I'm just laughing because he just keeps on looking. Let's talk about Wendy Williams' ex-husband Kevin Hunter, or Kelvin, whatever his name is. He is suing for the back pay of his alimony that stopped back in 2022 because once they did the legal guardianship over Wendy Williams's banking affairs, her money affairs, then they stopped paying him. Okay. And, now brother man ain't had no money. I mean, I don't know why he ain't went out and got another job, but I imagine probably being Kevin Hunter and looking for a job in the field that he's had experience in, maybe, people ain't really clamoring to hire him. But in this day and age where many people make things happen for themselves, I guess he could have did it for himself as well, but he didn't. He had this settlement with Wendy Williams. They had agreed to the alimony or whatever. So it's a severance package of sorts. And now he hasn't had his money. They haven't paid him. It was 2022, 2024. He hasn't had income for, I think he said 23 months. And it has seriously, affected his life. And I was like, I bet it has. Okay. But you can't feel sorry for Kevin because at the end of the day, ultimately, he is the reason why they are in this predicament to begin with. I feel like Kevin is the catalyst. He's the beginning of he is the reason why it was like he was the house of cards came down. Okay. Once the baby was on its way, that was when Wendy broke. Okay. That is when, and that's when everything just, it just was gone. And so you can't really feel sorry for him, but you can be like, boy, that hindsight is 2020, huh? Because I'm sure that, well, I don't even know if he would have did anything different if he could go back, because he seemed like he was quite arrogant and confident in the way that he was handling his life. But I guess he didn't take Wendy seriously when she said, you can go and do your dirt and do your shit, whatever you was doing, but nigga, the minute that a baby is coming, that's when it's over. Okay. Maybe he didn't think she was telling the truth, or maybe he was happy that the baby was here and now he could be with the woman that he really wanted to be with. All right. But they're not even together anymore. They say that she's gone back home to wherever home is, South Carolina, North Carolina, something like that, because she didn't have any money. She's with this man who's supposed to be taking care of her, the big houses. I mean, we done seen him in the house and the car and the nice clothes and all that shit came tumbling down. And so she left, and now he's over there broke by himself and trying to get this money. All I will say is I don't know who Wendy Williams and Kevin Hunter pissed off when they were like when they was really at the top and doing very well, but they done pissed off some people in New York, because New York is not trying to come around for them in any kind of way. Okay. And they are holding that bag. So it's been some shit that had to have happened, that them people had been pissed off some people, and now it's their time for the get back. And now we see Wendy, all of her mental health and physical health problems, and now what's happening with him. Nobody wants to hire him. He not getting his money. It's bad. But it was a contracted deal. It was something that they signed to and all that. I'm not a Rockstar lawyer, but the real Rockstars lawyers can chime in here. Especially those of you who do like family law and all of that stuff. I kind of feel like, yeah, we don't really like Kevin, but I mean, it is they did agree to that, and that's what they said. Okay, he should probably be getting the money that they said that they was gonna do. However, there's a big however here. Nigga, if Wendy can't get her money, why the hell you think you gonna get your money? Okay, this is called a line. Nigga, get in back. All right, because Wendy can't even get to her own money. So I don't imagine that they will ever pay him before they would give Wendy the money. So you're not going to get no money. We just saw a 2-day documentary had us all stressed out about what was going on over there. You're not getting that money. You is not getting that money. Not while all this is going on. Now they're telling us that Wendy has a new team. And I was just like, Lord, who the new team? Because we saw the last team, and I mean, I guess maybe they was doing the best they can, except for that one bitch. But, I guess they was doing the best that they can. But it's just sort of like, now y'all got a new team, somebody else that, we don't know why this woman can't be represented or, taken care of by her family, and give them that and let them go, So it's a mess. But yeah, I'm just like, well, I don't know how you gonna think you gonna get this money and be appealing to the court when this woman can't even get her money, So yeah, that's too bad, too sad for Kevin over there. I'm gonna tell him it's always work at the Amazon, because baby, I see Amazon be hiring people all the time. He look good and strong. He can go work and drive the trucks and deliver. Man, I got a printer delivered the other day. That shit was heavy as fuck. I know Kevin would have been able to handle that with no problem, y'all. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you know, life is hard, and you never win when you play dirty. And so this is kind of the results of when you get into bed and you lie down in it. So that's what that is there, y'all. But we'll see. We'll see what it is. We'll see if he ever gets his cash. I think it's going to be a long, long time before he can rely on that. All right, you guys. Bishop robbery. Shout out to Jay Lee. Bishop Lamore Whitehead, 47 years old. You guys remember him? He was the pastor who was famously preaching on a Sunday morning, you know, to his congregation, and he was robbed there on camera because they were streaming it for their online parishioners. Okay, and he was robbed, and then it came out very soon after that this was like a flashy pastor who be, you know, just designered down, got this really nice house and this really nice closet and full of stuff, and his wife and jewels, you know, they had all this supposedly $1 million in jewelry on the day that they were robbed and all that. You know, we weren't sure if it was a real robbery or if he had the shit set up, you know, for insurance purposes. Nobody knew exactly what it was, but it screamed scam all over the place. Okay. And he was out there in public, you know, in the social media streets and arguing with bloggers and going off on people and all of this and saying he wanted to fight folks. And I was just like, is this the conduct becoming of a pastor? Okay, no. But I could look at Lamar and I can look at him. I won't even give him the respect of being called bishop unless it is bishop robbery. But I could look at this man and tell that he was no good from the beginning. Because let me tell you something. Anytime you have a pastor who is Gucci down to the socks, okay, and they have a church that looked like a fucking storefront that they went and got some baby shower chairs and unfolded them and put them up in there and got this pool pit that looked like I don't know what, and they got a few people in there, and you can look at the people that's there, and most of them look like they is rubbing pennies together to get through the day. Okay, and I'm, you know, no slight to people, you know, even though I have some Roxstars that might go there or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to say that folks like what I'm saying is, when you have a pastor who is like that and then their church looks like that, you should not be giving money. You should not be supporting that church. Okay, you should not be supporting a church where the pastor could possibly be taking the money for, I don't even know how much money they could have been getting through tithes and offering there. But, you know, some people really do tithe and give their money because that's what the Bible say, you know. So people do tithe, and you got people giving their hard-earned money to a motherfucker that is going and taking your money and not even investing it in nothing. Not saying that the pastor is supposed to invest really in the church, but what I'm saying is, like, I grew up in a very small church. And it was you know, it was a very meager and didn't have much. I mean, hell, I think my family had more than even the pastor and his wife had. But we went to that church, and my mom was the piano player, the organ player, the announcement person, the treasurer, you know. And I remember my mom telling me a long time ago that the church belonged to the people. They don't belong to a person. People shouldn't own churches, okay? That it should have a board, and that there should be people that vote on who should be the pastor. And if, you know, you have that kind of money, you salary the pastor and all that, but it's a job, it's a business still. But yeah, they're leading the flock and all. But, you know, my mom used to always say there's always room for corruption when you have people that own the church and take the money and don't invest it in, you know, you supposed to be like, I mean, you've been seeing this building fund forever and the building's still fucked up. Where does money going? Okay. So, like, when I see a mega church, then I expect to see a mega pastor, okay? Because it's a mega church, there's a lot of money going into there, it's the look of the whole thing. Yeah, they paying this pastor, they probably paying this pastor well and everything. Even though I think now they are owning these churches, which is some of the problems that I have with these mega churches now, you know, but that's a different discussion for a different day. But what I'm saying is, You know, you expect that all goes together. So I don't expect the pastor of a mega church to be having an old jacked up car and looking like they live in pillar to post and anything like that. But when you have a church that's small, church front, and I'm not saying nothing bad about that church, like that's what they had to do, you know, I'm talking about the churchgoers, like that's their church and all that. But what I'm saying is, if you have a church that's meager, and then you've got the pastor who's a mega pastor of this meager church, it is a clear sign that there's a problem there. So this man was not only, you know, he had this influence, and they probably looked up at him and was just like, oh my God, I want to be like him. But that's not how you're not supposed to be like, I want to be like him as the pastor. The pastor is the vessel for the information to come to you, you know? So, but anyway, I bet you those people were like that. So they were supporting him. They were believing him. They were giving him money. I think he had 5 federal charges that he was found guilty of. He was getting them people's retirement, okay, money that they have saved up over the years. He was taking their money. He was lying about his connections that he had with like politicians, the mayor and everything, the chief of the police out there. He was lying about that. He was, he was just stealing people, just stealing crazy from these people that already probably ain't had that much to begin with. And then you mean to tell me this nigga done stole all they shit, and he over here just big money, big house, New Jersey, wife, you know, furred down and all that. No. You know, I, of course, can say that anybody with their right mind should know that he was a scammer. But, you know, people are older. People don't have as much education. People don't have money. People are desperate. People just want a better life for their family. People just want whatever they want. And you trust that this man of God of the cloth is supposed to be telling you right from wrong. Is supposed to be leading you correctly. And supposed to be, you know, so I looked at that and I was just like, boy, you gonna have, you know, if you really are a Christian and believe the gospel, you know, you gonna really have a time trying to get through them pearly gates. Because honey, God is gonna be like, you know, I expect more from you. You leading people. People are blindly believing you, and this is what you do. I don't feel sorry for the man. You know, of course he's saying that, yeah, you know, how they go, you know, anytime you doing right, you know, the devil comes and that, and I don't want to hear that shit. You know, he said he's going to appeal it, but he's supposed to be sentenced in July. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm not surprised that it's going to happen. Because, you know, he ain't been right the whole time. The nigga ain't been right the whole time. So, yeah, you know, Bishop Robbery goes to jail. All right, next story. Okay, you guys, and actually this is the final story. I didn't even realize how, I guess it should be, because my lunch is just about over. They say that JT, who is the other half of the City Girls, you know, yeah, Young Money and JT, I don't know what her mama named her because I didn't get the information. I can't look. But she announced that she's going to be on a solo tour, a 13-date run from March 23rd, begins March 23rd, and is going to start in Houston, Texas. I don't know what she'll be performing because, I mean, I know I ain't big on what all the rapper girls is doing these days, but I only know maybe one JT song, but they say she has 3 songs. She doesn't have even a full project, a full album, and she don't even have an EP. So I'm just like, how are you doing this? You know, kind of reminds me of when Chloe Bailey said she was going on tour, which she did do the tour, but she had a project, you know. And JT doesn't have any one full project on her own solo. So I don't know how this tour is going to happen. But yeah, she says that she's got many states that she's going to. This is Detroit, Atlanta, Baltimore, Miami, New York, 13 cities, but those are some of the places, and she's going to be wrapping it up in Kansas City. So, I mean, if you guys are a JT fan, then you know what? Hey, she's going to be on tour, and it's only 3 songs, so it's going to be a quick concert. They can figure out something else to do that night, but yeah, she's going to be on tour. I don't know how this is going to work out. Who pays for this? Like, is she going to be the one that's coming? Because that's a lot of money that you are trying to do, and you've only got 3 people. 3 songs. I don't know, child. I don't know, but I can't imagine the label would put her out on a tour somewhere when she don't have a project. So maybe there's something else you trying. You know, maybe this is something else you trying, child. But I was just like, oh, okay, JT, what we finna listen on at this here at this here concert that you go have? Y'all planning on going? Y'all let me know. Oh no, I have one more story. Last story is congratulations are in order to Shannon Sharpe, who won for best podcast on the iHeart Radio Awards for his sports show, Club Shay Shay. Now, I didn't even know that was actually considered a sports show. Maybe it has transformed over time because of the type of guests that he now has on there, and it's not really a sports show any longer. You know, shit, that Club Shay Shay, he said that he made more from that Cat Williams video, from that Cat Williams interview that he had ever made any one season in the NFL. So he was major paid. Okay, major paid. And the show is going in a great direction, at least for him. Now, if you D.L. Hughley, he says that, you know, he's very disappointed in Club Shay Shay and is turning to Wendy Williams, which I don't think is fair because Shannon Sharpe, you know, I mean, he has a show. He has guests on there. People come on there. Yeah, they might have the idea to be blasting folks when they come on there, trying to be controversial and saying all kind of things. But is that really Shannon's fault? At least, is it that his fault from the past? Because he didn't know what his guest was going to be doing in the past. Okay, Cat Williams blew that door open. Okay, and now people are coming in and doing that. So maybe you could say in the future, hopefully, if he continues to let this be a place where people can come and just say whatever shit may or may not be true, you know, yada, 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 that's something else. But, I mean, you know, in the past, people was coming on there and he didn't know what they was going to say. You know, he didn't know what they was going to do. I think now it probably has a reputation of, oh, I'm going on Club Shay Shay and I'm about to say this, that, and the other. But, yeah, the Wendy Williams comparison I don't think is fair. And also, he doesn't talk about people like Wendy did. So that's also different. But, I mean, it is some, you know, some shit going on at Club Shay Shay that, you know, some people don't like. I can agree with that. But Wendy Williams comparison, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he's doing well. You getting the iHeart Radio Award and all, you know, and making that big kind of money. Yeah, they're going to continue to invest in Club Shay Shay and his show and him and everything. So I'm not mad for him. I'm not mad for him, you guys. Congratulations to Club Shay Shay. We do this every single week, so make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Till next time, Roxstars.